All right, bang. Today is Tuesday. It is March 4th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Snake Draft Tuesday. We are joined on Zoom by Nate and Feits. Danny is also swapped in for White Sox Dave because today is a big draft, and White Sox Dave has never seen The Office, so we're doing the Office draft.
How dare I stand where he stood? But yes, this has been a long time in the making. I think it'll be a shocking fact that you have not done an Office draft yet.
You think so? We've done Sopranos.
You've hit all the major TV shows.
We've never done Breaking Bad, which I
never done Seinfeld. Never done a lot of things.
Yeah,
Office is like
Office is big.
Big.
It's big.
It is big,
and
it's big, but it has. I would say since leaving Netflix has lost a significant grip on culture.
Mm-hmm.
It was overexposed for a while when a new generation got into it and the whole spilling the chili, whatever. And now it's back to like being just a normal amount of publicity for the show.
Yeah.
I will say I find myself watching just randomly more reruns of Seinfeld still than I do of The Office. And
I agree with that wholeheartedly, but I think it's a Netflix thing. Like,
yeah, maybe.
I have Peacock. I don't know why I don't go watch it, but for some reason I stick to Seinfeld on Netflix.
Now, I pay for cable, and all the streaming things, but Comedy Central will do The Office in order, and I'll just catch myself doing like a run of season 2 on any given Saturday.
Yeah, Comedy Central is doing like what MTV did with ridiculousess with The Office now.
Yeah,
yeah,
which is not a bad strategy.
Not
In fact,
at
I
all.
might pop that on in the background over here.
I feel like that's cheating.
Well, you know what's crazy is when Eddie texted me about this, he's like, I hear you're the Office guy. And I was like, I've definitely fallen off a bit, but that inspired me to go back and give another, I think I watched season 1, maybe a little bit of 2 since you sent that text, Eddie. It's different. It it's probably been 5 years since I regularly watched The Office. It hits different. Like there's a lot of different parts that I was like, oh, I did not feel this about that character.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. And obligatory as well. Danny Conrad's Make-A-Wish was to hang out with the cast of The Office.
Yep, I was on my dying bed and I said I want to meet all of them. It was season 6. Got to see the episode where Pam gets to punch Michael after he dumps her mother. Met the whole cast. If I lose this, I should quit. This is
Wait,
this is the
did you
most.
really? I don't think I knew that.
This is the most
Yeah,
important.
Danny you had leukemia, right?
Yeah, this is the most important piece of content I've ever done.
Yeah, so big deal.
Yeah, to say I'm an expert would be an understatement.
Yeah. I am not an expert. I'm just going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually, I still haven't finished the 9th season.
That's
Which is
fine.
crazy.
Yeah.
But like Eddie you
You
didn't.
the finale though, right?
I've seen like enough parts of it to know.
When did you first start watching it? It wasn't until like 3 years
COVID,
ago,
right? Wasn't it during COVID?
I think so.
Late bloomer.
Yeah, I'm definitely a late bloomer. I love it though. I have much respect for it.
And would you say you've probably only seen most episodes once?
Probably yes.
Rare.
So I'm going to struggle.
Yeah.
There was a 3-year period where I watched The Office straight through, then Breaking Bad straight through, back to The Office straight through, back to Breaking Bad straight through, and watched no other shows. And that's not hyperbole or exaggeration. All I did was go back and forth between those two shows for good 2 to 3 years.
That's all you need, really.
Both good
Yeah,
shows.
there's been so much good TV. I feel like that's
Well,
actually
I'm
not
catching
a good
up now.
show.
I know. I'm catching up now. I have a lot to watch.
Mm-hmm. First and foremost, obligatory as well. That's my second obligatory. I don't know if you can have that many.
For those keeping score at home.
Yeah. We've done 2 of these where we banned a character. In the Sopranos draft, we banned Tony Soprano. In the NBA draft, we banned Michael Jordan.
If you're trying to ban Michael Scott, I don't think you can.
I kind of think Michael Scott's too powerful and he should be banned.
He's not.
So my rebuttal is it's up for debate, but you can also say other categories have clear number 1 picks as well. Same with Michael being clear number 1 for main characters.
I don't think that's true, but I also could side with not banning Michael for other reasons, but I don't think there's a standout in the other categories the way Michael does.
I think that there's enough good characters, and I don't think it'll skew, because I think it's not like the NBA where it's like, well, especially us in Chicago, we're so biased towards Jordan. There are certain people who'd be like, I love Michael, but this character is actually my favorite character.
Fair.
But how can we ban Tony Soprano and not ban Michael
Soprano is a bigger part of that show than Michael Scott is. The Office.
Oh, no way. But
All right, you
Let's hear
said yourself you're not an expert.
All right. Well,
It's honestly, Ed, I was thinking about it. I didn't realize the ban was a possibility. I was thinking about it earlier today, where I was thinking about it from the fans' point of view, where like 1-1 is obviously Michael Scott. It's obvious. And I think you have to almost just, again, I was thinking as a fan because I didn't realize a ban was possible. Like you almost got to put that out of your mind when you're voting to who's best. Because like it's almost, I was thinking about how I would vote or how I would draft, knowing that I most likely will not have Michael. And like a real fan is going to be like, well, actually, that's a good get. Yeah, Michael's the obvious 1-1, but that's a great pick in that spot, and that's a great pick in that spot.
okay.
Any tiebreaker, though, will go to the team with Michael Scott.
Which I think is fine. But you don't think that
Well, listen, hey, this is.
I do think Tony Soprano is a more dominant figure, and the gap between him and everybody else is so much bigger than Michael Scott and some of the others.
I'll say this. The draft is the draft. Sometimes a Peyton Manning comes along who's, the number one pick. The other teams have to deal with it. I think we should just put on our draft caps and not ban Michael Scott and let the cards fall as they may.
Okay, so that's 2 for not banning him. So Danny, John, do you have any?
I'm fine with not banning him. I get reasons for both arguments.
Okay. All right, he's not banned.
I'm with a Danny here. I bend the knee to who.
Red Ed.
Red Ed.
Yeah, we're not going to open up that.
I appreciate that.
I respect the rules, however they're set forth. I see both arguments for sure. The Tony banning, I think, is a very strong point for ban Michael. But the more I talk it out, I would say leave him in.
Keep him in. All right. Second thing. Sorry, Nate.
Obligatory number 3.
Second thing. So the categories are cold open, episode, character, side character, worst character. Do we want to get into the side character discrepancy before we start?
Yes. Yes.
I think we have to let that happen organically.
Okay,
that's fine.
I do too. You have to make your argument.
I will say this. I think if you choose an episode, someone else can then also choose the cold open from that same episode if they wanted to.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's just get into it. All right. Fights. Lance has 1 through 5 behind his back. What number is it?
3.
No.
Nate.
2.
No.
Chief.
1.
No.
Danny.
4.
4.
Fuck.
Give me 1-1, baby.
That was so close.
All right, let's revisit the whole banning Michael Scott.
Wait, you guys don't even know what I'm going to pick
That
yet.
was so close. 1 through 4 to me.
Yep.
3.
No.
John.
4.
No.
Nate.
1.
1.
Okay. That was a little
I will
premature.
I will take pick 2.
Okay.
Dude, that was Blackhawks getting Bedard right there.
Well,
1
sucks. So
1 through 3, Chief.
3.
Yeah, 3.
I'll take 3rd.
All right. 1 or 2, John.
1.
Got it.
You want 4 or 5?
I think I'll take 5.
Okay. Smart.
I don't know if that's the scientifically right move, but I don't know. I kind of like it.
Typically, 4 spot is the worst spot to draft.
Okay, so
Typically.
not good with John.
Yeah. All right.
Although we have no data to back that up
Yeah.
whatsoever.
It's
It's just 5s.
Dude, I'm thinking it was a mistake to take 2 now.
I don't know.
I don't know how this is going to shape. I'm very excited.
All right. Hey, guys, before we get into today's draft, I want to talk about Rhoback Activewear. You guys know how much we love Rhoback. Everybody's always wearing it. It's the only joggers that I wear. Rhoback has been on a tear with these new product releases, and we're here for it, okay? Let's talk about more of them. The Rhoback Huddle Hoodie. It's different from their Hesse hoodie that you all have gotten to know. It's made with a cotton poly blend, so it's very warm, but it still has a nice stretch to it. We've been wearing this every day, and there's more of a lifestyle feel to it. Rhoback also released the new Sprint Joggers. These are the one I'm telling you guys about. They're beautiful. They're comfortable. They're awesome. These joggers are designed for both activity and comfort. The fabric is super lightweight, has nice stretch, and ultra soft feel. They're the ideal Saturday jogger when you're on the move, or the Sunday jogger when you're just chilling watching football. Finally, Rhoback's glide down jacket is actually super nice. We didn't know what to expect, but this jacket is worth it. It has baffled build with down filling, so it's warm and the fit is great. It's easy to move in, and it has an internal and external pockets too. Some might say they thought of everything with this one. So use code DOG on Roback.com for a generous 20% off for all new customers through the end of this week. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all hoodies, joggers, jackets, and more with code DOG. If you're not on the Roback train yet, I don't know what you're doing. It's not too late. Get dialed in. Get some Roback. Use that promo code DOG. It helps us out. We love Roback. Help them out too. All right, let's get into the draft. Danny, you're up. Just do it.
You guys probably won't see this coming, but give me the funniest character in all of television, Michael Gary Scott. 1-1, easiest decision of my life. Michael has plenty of alter egos, all just as funny as the next. Date Mike, Prison Mike, you name him. Michael Scott. Do I even need to say more? Best character,
You don't.
for my sake, in all of television. In all of television.
The only thing
Yeah.
I would like to note is I drafted him in a sitcom draft, and Chief and Dave made fun of me. They called me candy ass. They called me a girl, and it was mean.
Dave
Yeah.
has never
What
even
does
seen
that
it.
even mean?
Yeah, what?
Like just like it was like
I don't know if that's a direct
They did the
quote.
thing. They did the thing where I was like, "Oh, it's like a girl show," like kind of.
I
did that.
think Ed's just making shit
I'm
up.
telling you.
That sounds like fake news.
No disrespecting the goat on my watch. My
It
friend
does
Stevie.
sound like White Sox Dave. It doesn't sound like Chief.
Yeah,
Thank
Dave.
you.
Dave just never seeing a show and declaring it early.
Dave and
Yeah.
Chief kind of blend into me now. Now
Okay. See, like now we're gonna have a nice draft without Dave, and now you're
Sorry.
just throwing
Yeah.
slander around.
I'm so happy he's not here. Anything on Michael Scott, John? You were gonna say something.
I wasn't going to say much. I was going to say what we all know. I do think Costanza still has a right to it, but he's as good as a character can possibly be. Anyone who says he's the best character all the time isn't wrong.
Yeah, I stopped myself from going off because I feel like we'll inevitably get into it with our episode picks and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right,
But oddly, like the cringiest and most lovable character of all time.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
sympathetic.
Well, that's what they were. That's what they were so good at.
Yeah.
Is like having his moments of clarity. I think the episode when he's like when Jim kind of took over.
Thank
and
you.
And he's like telling Jim, like he's sitting in his sweatpants and he's like, "Oh, you tried that? Nah, it doesn't work." Like,
Yeah.
that,
It's like I
such
tried
a
that in
perfect
'99.
fucking-
Yeah.
yeah, like such a good look into like who he is.
Yep.
And it's awesome.
He does that again with That's What She Said, and Michael's like, "Who?" And he goes, "Sometimes I just say it."
Yeah.
Like those little like it's like he knows what he's doing, and those glimpses into like his actual reality, and just his character progression is just like very formidable, and just you end up like rooting for the guy because like all his relationships. It's just it's the best written character. Definitely sitcom character. You
Yeah.
can talk drama as in a different thing, but definitely best written sitcom character to ever live.
You just truly don't know what he's going to say next. Like, he's so funny, unscripted. And yeah, he does have weird moments of like self-awareness. One of the last episodes he was in, he was saying something about each person, and he was talking about Oscar, and he's like, "Yeah, this guy just hates me, I bet."
Yeah, he thinks it's like Oscar thinks I'm the dumbest person.
One of my sneaky favorite jokes, this is what I mean, where it's like you never see it coming. He just randomly walks over to Oscar's desk and he goes, "Oscar, Meyer, Wiener, lover."
He's just so good. He's a machine too, and it's one of those things where, did anyone here get tired of him? Like, you would think at some point that's a character you could get like a little exhausted
No,
from
because
it's constantly going. You know,
Yeah.
They walked that line perfectly where he is both the worst and the best at the same time.
And like the premises alone are so funny, but then he just has so many throwaway lines in
Yeah.
between. Even in like the confessional, the talking heads.
Yeah.
He's so good.
So good.
He like even another great one I thought was when they show the clip of him in elementary school on that kids show. And you're like it's just such good looks into like who he really is and how this person came to be in this world.
So no one can ever say no to being my
Yeah.
friend.
I want 100 kids so I can have 100 friends.
Yeah. Nate, you're up.
I am glad Michael Scott went 1-1 and there was no funny business, because I am now going to take the best episode to ever happen in sitcom history, and that is Dinner Party.
Yep. Clear cut number 2.
from the very beginning with Michael on the phone with Feitelberg going, "These guys are my friends. It's not fair." And every line and scene after, I mean, there are, what do you want to say, 15 to 20 memorable sitcom moments packed in the one episode, from the TV on the wall, the futon, Serenity by Jan, Hunter's CD, Michael running into the glass door,
The St. Pauli girl sign.
Yeah.
The Asabuca has to braise for 3 hours from now.
Bro, snip, snap, snip, snap.
Snip,
Like,
snap, snip, snap.
Dwight walking in with his babysitter.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite lines in the entire show is Pam brings a bottle of wine and Jan just goes, "This will be great to cook with." And it's just the meanest thing that you can say in that moment. Even like just Pam and Jim doing the whole babe thing, her stealing the CD at the end. It is a perfect episode. Oh, charades. When it's like the Katie Holmes, Tom Cruise, the entire thing. It's the most jam-packed amount of jokes I've ever seen in anything. I love it. It's the best episode of television.
The best part is you can ask people what their favorite part is, and they'll say a part that you don't even remember. Like from now, it's like an inside joke with some of my friends. At the beginning of dinner party in the office, Michael tricks Jim into telling him that he's free tonight. And he's like, "Oh, you want to come to dinner?" And Jim's like, Michael goes, "You said you weren't doing anything."
Like the throwbacks to the Dundies, and then like his homemade table. It's just the whole thing. I mean, we could rattle off
Dwight passing up his babysitter at the bus stop at the end.
Have you guys caught wind? I haven't heard too much scuttlebutt, but like I have seen at least one or two tweets mentioning it feels like this next generation of Office fans are likening this to Scott's Tots. They're like, dinner parties unwatchable. I don't know if it's Gen Zs or whatever. I couldn't disagree more. I am with, it seems like the majority or literally everybody here. Like it's perfect television.
Why are they saying
Snowflakes.
it's unwatchable?
Just the cringe factor. They say it's too cringy.
If you can't get through dinner party,
Yeah.
I didn't find dinner party.
I don't
cringy.
even hate Scott's
Right.
Tots.
How are you watching any drama ever?
Yeah.
You can't get through dinner party.
Yeah. This is one of those things too. So, like we said, I watched it way later, and hype kind of ruins everything. Like you hear about it forever. There is a side character who might be a side, whatever. He's a character who did kind of get ruined by hype for me. This did not. Like I've always heard about dinner party. This lived up to the hype 100%.
Could you imagine if The Office had a laugh track? Would it just be going the whole time?
Probably.
was there an episode you guys had ranked higher than this? You don't have to say what it was.
No.
No.
All right, that was kind of McDavid Eichel, and now the draft really starts.
Yeah.
So Chief, you're up.
Dwight. I'm taking Dwight. I think he's like the perfect foil. I have a particular I don't know, this is tough. I want to talk about certain episodes, but the one where he tries to steal Michael's job and Michael catches him. And so it's like he puts him on the stand and makes him stand there wearing like I'm a liar thing. The whole like, to me, he is the perfect side character. He's the perfect foil to Michael Scott. He carries episodes by himself sometimes. He's so fucking funny. There's only ever been one of them. I've seen the other like outtakes of like where they're going through the casting and different people are reading for that character, and then you see some like famous, it might be like Seth Rogen or something, like reads for Dwight. You're like, no. Like there is only one Dwight. They got that perfect with Rainn Wilson. So I think Dwight has to be the second character. I'm thrilled to get him through overall.
Real quick, I think you can say scenes from episodes because that won't tip the episode. Like we all know the episodes exist, so I don't think that really changes anything.
Yeah,
dude, Dwight was, you referenced it earlier, which is why I'm saying it. The episode when he has to go to the dentist and shit like that.
Yeah, Crentist.
Like, bro, that was no bullshit. A humongously formidable moment of my life. Like dude, it was. I remember it so vividly. Where like. It was my first time ever running Barstool Boston, and Dave had gone on vacation or wherever the fuck he'd gone, and the Casey Anthony news broke during that week, and I was like, I don't know, like, should I talk about this shit? Like, what's the deal? Maybe it wasn't the news broke. I think it was. I think she was found innocent.
Okay.
And I was like, I remember like G-chatting with like Kevin and Dan, being like, I don't know, like this feels like a big story, but like it feels like a lot of pressure too. So they're like just trying to be like they're just trying to be funny about it, whatever. And I remember her nanny was named Zanny. She said. And I remember being like, what is this, like fucking Dwight? This was a time in life when we were very reference heavy.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this, like dentist with Prentice? And people thought that was so funny. And that's when I was like, okay, I can do this. Like I know how to make this work. And I was like, I think back on it all the time now. Like if Dentist Prentice didn't exist, I probably
You're fired.
It's a big confidence moment for you.
Yeah, Dwight, clear cut number 2.
Clear cut number 2. I will say I did at some points get some Dwight fatigue. I didn't get that from Michael. Sometimes it was like, all right,
He's being a little too outlandish.
yeah, but he's number 2. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
like whatever. All right, to me, I don't know like how these look. My picks are gonna look from like worldview Office fans. So I'm literally just gonna take what made me laugh the most and whatnot. But I'm gonna start with worst characters because I'm kind of thin there, and I'm gonna go with Gabe.
Wow.
Just kind of a dink. I didn't really do anything for me. I don't know where he was on your guys' boards. I don't know if that's a bad pick or good pick. I'm ready to hear it, but Gabe was my number 1 worst character.
I liked Gabe.
I didn't hate Gabe, and then I do have. This is totally not fair to Gabe, and that actor in Silicon Valley I thought was so funny, and there's some similarities between the two. So I feel like when I saw Gabe episodes after seeing Silicon Valley, like a rewatch, I'm like, Gabe's kind of funny.
So
That's 100% right. Eddie, where you're at in your relationship with The Office, I don't fault you for the pick. Once I became a Zach Woods guy, who's the actor who plays Gabe, I loved him.
Yeah.
But that was post Silicon Valley. Then I'd caught up on, I'd like watch Veep. He's the character. In
Yeah.
Veep. He's always the same guy. He's the same fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I became a much bigger Gabe guy. But I don't think that's a crazy. Might be crazy in the first round, but to have him on the worst character board is not crazy.
It is
Definitely-
crazy. It is crazy in the first round.
just because I'm
round,
just because I'm thin there, and I don't think my other stuff's gonna be taken because I think it's all just like not widely known as being really good.
I respect Eddie just going gut picks and not like that's not a first round pick, but people hate Gabe a lot. I think Gabe's very funny because like every line he says, it's just how do you say it's in like the Gabe character, and it's just so like he's not intimidating, and like Erin like is really mean to him while they're dating because like even she's disgusted by him, and he's like he's not a character you don't want to see on your screen, but he's also not like he's not a character you're supposed to like either. I like the way they make him unlikable.
He's so perfectly like the weird white guy, like obsessed with Asian culture. Like, he's got all the fucking powdered like seahorses and urchins and stuff like that. Dude, it is really funny when he's commuting from Tallahassee to Scranton.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think he works in the Scranton office Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but in Tallahassee Tuesday, Thursday, or something like that. Like he finds himself in outrageous situations and handles them very Gaby. Like, dude, the episode when they prank him, I think it's Jim pranks him and sets up the he makes Gabe listen to Joe Bennett's autobiography.
Oh yeah.
And he like locks in so hard. It is again, dude, Eddie, where you sit, I don't fault you for the pick.
You know what? Him saying "chow" is just like so hateable, but it's like just so funny. It and it's very office culture. Like he thinks he's above them. And he just I the more we can talk about Gabe, the more I think it's actually a good pick in the first round.
Yeah, a lot of this will just take some swaying and
Yeah.
convincing.
Yeah, for sure. And the other shows thing does exist. Like I don't know if you guys watch Severance now, but that guy Daryl was in Crashing, and his character is hilarious in that. So I like that character way more because I saw him in something else. That does transform you a lot,
Right.
Yeah.
for sure. John, you're up.
Fuck. Okay. God, this is hard. All right, I'm just gonna go. I'll go first pick episode. Dude, season 3. I was looking at the episode list of season 3. there just isn't a miss. Like any episode from season 3 you can pick, that's a valid best episode choice. But I think I'll go Survivor Man.
Okay.
Okay.
Really?
Yes. I think that I forget what it is. It's Survivor Man, Dinner Party, and something else have a 3-episode run that is unmatched, I think.
Wait, that's season 4. Right?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Okay, regardless.
What's the big plot points in Survivor Man?
What's that?
What's the big plot points in Survivor Man?
It's when Toby goes on a company retreat with all the other execs, and Michael gets jealous about all the attention he's getting for it, so he does a Bear Grylls into the woods himself, and Dwight follows him so he can't get hurt.
Yeah.
It's like when he sits down in front of the camera and he's like, I haven't eaten about 3 hours, so starting to feel it. And he's cutting off all the different like pants he's making. And he's like, this you can fasten this as a hat or a nice little kerchief. Like, and then while that's happening is back at the office is Kelly's birthday, I believe. Where Jim and Dwight are trying to set that up, which gets, it is your birthday.
It is your birthday.
Yeah. Balloons. Oh wait, no. It is a birthday thing, but I don't think it's Kelly's. It's when Jim's. It's what we talked about earlier. It's when Jim's trying to cancel birthdays. And
yeah.
Because like someone doesn't like ice cream cake and all that, and then there's one other thing that happens in it. But I love that episode. I think that episode's great when Dwight tries to beat Michael with the shoe to knock him out cold while Michael's driving the car. I think that episode I love Survivor.
This
Great
is
episode.
already making me want to go back and do a rewatch.
Yeah, I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
You're up again, Joe.
Now, Nate was right. That was season 4.
Really?
Yeah, that was season 4, episode 11.
So, is Dinner Party right around there too? I thought
Dinner
Yeah.
Party is right around there, and there is one other episode in between the two that is in the running for. It should be picked today.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So
think
like,
so.
dude, I thought I was looking at season 3. I must have been looking at season 4. But no, season 3 starts with Gay Witch Hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got the
valid
list
choice.
up right now. Yeah, it's season 4.
The episode in between will be taken.
Yeah.
You're up
What is-
again.
Well, we can't say it yet. We'll get to it.
Okay, so that'll be my best episode. God, this is so fucking hard. I really wish we could start this in like round 10. Because
We probably could have
honestly.
done just an episode.
Just an
draft.
episode draft, yeah.
Oh, that would be fun.
I guess I think I'm gonna be safe with other stuff.
Put it in your calendar. 1 year from today, we'll do an episode draft.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I know what I'll take. I'm gonna take worst. I'm gonna take Pam.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
I can't say-
Pam sucks.
Pam's terrible, and Jim is also a worthy pick there. Like I think they're both fucking terrible. I can't stand either. of them. I do think the internet relitigating Jim every few years is annoying, and I actually think they're relitigating him in the wrong way because it's always saying that like he's a jerk to Dwight. At least what I read. I think the show does a good job establishing that Dwight is asking for it. I
Agreed.
think Jim's a
Yeah.
dickhead to everyone else. I think like it's all just so fucking. Even like we were talking about charades earlier, when he's just being an asshole. Like just fucking say the answer, dude.
Wait, are you taking Pam or Jim then?
I'm taking. I'm taking Jim. Can I switch?
Whoa.
I'm taking Jim. I think Jim sucks, dude. I think he really, again, with his relationship with Dwight, I disagree. I think the relationship with Dwight is fine, but that all that shit in season 1 when he's like so flirty with Pam, it's fucking weird, man. It's. I
Interesting.
watched it in the moment when it came out, and I did not feel this way. The world changes and continues to spin. Now, when I watch it, I do feel a different way.
Here's my Jim take, and I think he's an asshole also. But the thing with Jim is, for some reason, when we watched the show originally, it was like, he had the stupid hair and he was the slacker, and that was the cool thing. When you watch it as an adult, you just see just a kind of just like a loser with no aspiration, selling paper. Like, just like he's not. I don't know why we thought he was cool. If you watch the show, he's never once cool. He doesn't care about his life, career, job. He doesn't really seem to have friends, and he gets high off of picking on Dwight, which is like, mind your business. I don't know. Like, Jim was never cool.
No, he really wasn't. Like it's such an interesting look at how often the world changes, because he was the man. He was the heartthrob. He was the cool guy. And you watch it now and you're like, this guy's just a fucking cunt.
He wasn't a normal person until like Karen kind of like whipped him into shape.
Yeah.
I think it was just his demeanor, just like he just laid back, like.
I think
Some people need to find themselves in their 20s, guys. So not everybody was so career oriented at 25.
I will say I think we're being a little hard on Jim. I think career oriented, like he gradually got promoted. 2, Jim is the straight character. Like you needed him to establish the fish out of water that is Dwight and Michael. It's almost like Jim needs to be there to address how weird this is. So in that aspect, I respect
that's
him.
fair with Jim and Pam being like kind of the voice of the audience, but
like you said, like you don't really ever feel sorry for Dwight when Jim's picking on him.
No, like the episode where they're listing out all his pranks, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But when he's just, particularly the flirting with Pam weirded me out, where it was like, Jesus Christ, like he's hugging her and he's picking her up, and
that's one of the hardest scenes to watch.
You know she has a fiance.
Where is Toby?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Toby.
No, I mean like
he's
HR. Where is HR? Yeah.
Yes.
He's HR.
Yeah.
Like with the I think the end of season 2, when she falls asleep on his shoulder and he just sits there and lets it happen, and she wakes her up in an empty room, like it's all weird, uncomfortable stuff.
Well, no, that episode also, he loses his 25% commission. Like Dwight steals the client, and he's like, I have one client I call once a year, and I get my 25% of my commission. And he has a little bottle of champagne in it, but Pam falls asleep on his shoulder for like 2 minutes in a meeting, and he goes, "Yeah, so pretty good day." It's like, ugh, you fucking simp. Like, just ugh.
It is.
Can't even take her out for dinner now, idiot.
No, because she's engaged.
Well, that's true.
And he also again, think we're kind of talking about like the slacker attitude, like when he I call a client once a year and I lost it. Like, so what, dude? I don't fucking care about that. You don't try it. Why would I feel bad for you on this?
All right,
but again, when I was in my early 20s or mid 20s, even watching that show, I felt a very different way. I feel differently now.
All right, Jim didn't age well. Yeah. I will say, when you look back on like this now classic love story of Jim and Pam, it's bizarre to think she was engaged the whole time.
Yeah. And he works in the building, Danny. Like he's
with her fiance.
He sucked though too.
When someone picks Pam, I think we will have a good 10 minutes of things to pick out about her.
Oh, yeah.
And we will allow that. It's a friendly draft. We're going to allow the hand off the chest.
Yeah.
So you get Jim. All right, it's to me.
What I want next.
Fuck it. I'm not really concerned about how my performance is in this draft. I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to take what I really thought was funny. And you just brought him up. I'm going to take episode Goodbye Toby. I fucking love Toby.
Oh, man.
Love him. Like, I think he is so fucking funny. And Michael Scott singing Goodbye Toby on the stage was all time. Like, knowing how serious he was.
It's hard to pinpoint, like, your top 5 favorite Office episodes. That is solidified top 5 for me. I don't know where, but it was a finale of one of the seasons. I know that that was when Andy proposed to Angela right when Jim was about to. Mike, is that Michael? You cheated on me after I specifically asked you not to. All-time line.
Goodbye, Toby. Like it was just so. It was.
Hey, Toby's going away.
It's so good. I don't think it's in that episode. Is it the second episode when he touches her leg and he runs away? Jumps across the.
Who, Toby?
He touches.
He climbs the gate.
Climbs the gate. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm moving to Costa Rica.
Yeah, and that's the same one where he brings in the gift for him, and like Holly was in there, so he didn't want her to see. It was like The Rock or whatever. It was like, I forgot what the note said. he's like, shut up. You know what I'm talking about?
Suck
Wait.
on this.
Yeah, suck on this.
Goodbye, Toby. Also, he wants a picture with Pam, and first he just freaks out. Does anybody have a camera? And his like voice cracks. And then when he finally gets the picture with Pam, she's crying because she thought Jim was going to propose to her. So the picture of Pam is just like this terrible picture of that is a fantastic pic.
Great episode.
Yeah, I just fucking love Toby, dude. I love Toby. Chief, you're up.
This is tough.
It is tough because I kind of want to go episode, but I'm going through the list, and that's the deepest category. So
I would say I think there's 2 more standout episodes.
yeah,
3 maybe. Yeah.
I'll go from the cold open
Oh.
category here, and it's Michael burning his foot on the Foreman grill.
Great one.
Yeah.
Great one. And then I always remember when Dwight rushes to get Michael. He hits his car and he pukes on top of his car. Funniest visual.
And then, like, as you're seeing that out the window, you just hear Michael, anyone but Dwight, please.
So right before that, Pam goes, "Why don't you call your girlfriend?" And then it's like this pause. He goes, "I don't have a girlfriend." And then she goes, I thought you hung out with her on Saturday. And then it's another pause. He goes, "I made it all up." I can just talk about this shit forever.
I
man.
like breakfast in bed.
I like the smell of crackling bacon.
Exactly. I went back to sleep.
Yeah.
He bubble wraps his foot. He requests Ryan to go to his house to help him first. He tries sneaking his foot in Dwight's MRI.
And then Dwight's like normal for the most part with the concussion.
Jim's got him with the spray bottle.
Yeah.
A ton of funny parts in that one. That's a classic.
Nate, you're up.
Is it Nate? Oh yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm up again.
Mhm.
I guess not again. Fuck for character, I'm gonna take Ryan Howard.
Okay.
Best character.
I think yes, best main character.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like that pick. I see your face. I think Ryan, pound for pound for main characters, he's such a douchebag, but it's so perfect. Like when he just calls, they say I'm a wonderkind. I don't know what that means. Well, it means that I'm, so young for how high I am in the company. Every line he says, his evolution of looks, he gets the goatee, so Michael gets the goatee. Woof, like every story, the whole thing with Kelly, how mean he is to Kelly is hilarious. I think Ryan, and I like that he doesn't have an evolution really. He's just a dickhead the entire show. I could not say enough that his hit rate for a main character, I think is up there with Michael's.
I actually, honestly, I don't even know if I'd give Ryan a main character.
Yeah. He's a guy that I got fatigue on.
Ryan fatigue doesn't exist. No.
He just never hit for me. Like I didn't like him when he was supposed to be like unlikable. And then I just didn't really believe his character arc, like him becoming like a hipster artsy guy. Ryan didn't do it for me.
He went to
But he's
Bangkok.
just that's the character. He's just like a douche. Like that's who he is.
Ryan could be separated into like 2 different characters, pre-Bangkok or wherever he went.
But he never actually
No, he went to Fort
Or
Lauderdale.
went to Fort Lauderdale. Pre-hair dye.
Or Tampa or wherever he went.
I loved early Ryan. But the second half of Ryan, a douche, but during the Michael Scott Paper Company, he kind of shone pretty well. He was pretty funny there. But all right.
He
I
did.
like
He
Ryan.
did have that great line where, ever since he got sober, just fresh air makes him sick. Like, when they're in the van, yeah. Ever since I got sober, just the mornings make me sick. He had moments like I didn't hate him as a character, but I certainly don't. He's not top tier for me. I genuinely I think I was thinking before this started that if you're in the annex, you're definitely a supporting character. If you're I think they're even supporting characters who are in the main office.
Yeah.
Ooh, see, that's where this first.
Wait,
bridge-
so did I just take a supporting character and not a main character?
I think he would.
I think he'd
I
be
think if
main.
you want him,
I
to,
think
like
you can
could-
argue
yeah,
both,
either.
I'll put it since I haven't drafted either. I'll put him wherever you guys want him.
I think
guess.
Maine is fine. I think.
Main's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, main's fine. I was just thinking in my own head coming in, I was like, Annex is supporting.
They said.
But I would even make the argument that some people not in the Annex are supporting.
But he's in the credits. I thought like main would be people in the credits and side would be people not.
That just pop up.
He's in the credits. I personally, I think he's in the credits more because he's
a writer, right?
A writer.
Yeah.
No, like they show, it's like they show Michael and then they show Jim, Pam, Ryan, Kelly, right?
Yeah, I think you can easily sway it into
this helps
Ryan
me if
being
you guys
a
are-
main character. I think that's fine.
This helps me.
I'm fine with either.
But a little fun fact, I think this is like pretty common knowledge now. It's been out on all the forums. But when I went to my Wish, they would put Ryan, Kelly, and Toby in the Annex because they were also writers. So whenever they were filming scenes in the office, they could just do their shit back there.
I didn't
It
know
looked like
that
they were-
Toby was a writer. I knew the other two were.
Yeah,
It's also a later scene of Ryan's. It's a Ryan and I like the Ryan Pam rivalry when he says that he loves Smokey Robinson because he's just trying to be like this hipster, and he thinks that he's dead. And the whole I can't believe you guys aren't Ryan heads like I am. I think he's one of the best.
I loved when he was Michael's bitch. He does have some great lines when he like tells Pam to clean the microwave. He's like,
I would
just
only
mess
make
up."
it worse.
I actually also, you know what? I like BJ Novak as a creator. I think he's funny and talented. Him and Mindy Kaling's thing. It bothers me. Just what
In
one or
real
the
life?
other. Huh?
In real life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they like
he's the
kinda
dad,
just
right?
pretend they're husband and wife, but also best friends. And I'm like, just tell us what you are. Why are you being so weird about this?
John, do you like Jonah and Veep?
I love Joe.
Oh yeah.
He's amazing.
I see them as very similar.
Oh
Really?
no.
Really?
I think Jonah and Veep is so much more vile and so much funnier.
Well, it's an HBO show, not a network show,
Yeah,
but I
I
think
suppose.
the characters.
Jonah, I would easily say is my favorite character in Veep, but I've never made that comparison. I don't really see it, but
I've used this
Yeah,
reference
he's-
before, but like Ryan's character arc can be compared to, I always said Eric Matthews in Boy Meets World had the strangest character arc. He was like this hunk Fonzie type, and then he turned into like a hippie out of nowhere. He didn't really address it. Ryan started as like a bitch, the punching bag, and then he's just like has his own company and is a douche.
yeah. I think that is he's way more tolerable until he gets the job.
Right.
Yeah.
Danny, you're up.
Do I get two?
Yeah.
Whew. I'm torn here, but I'm gonna do it. Cold open. Give me Stress Relief Part 1, The Fire, the episode that aired after the Super Bowl.
I mean, Danny just locked up.
Yeah, that's a
He
first rounder.
he wins the draft. It's actually nice that you took the pressure away. Like you have Michael Scott. Like now we're just playing for fun over here.
Stress Relief Part 1. I mean, I don't want to like totally get into the rest
So
of the
you're
episode.
taking the cold open.
Cold
right?
open though.
Okay.
What did they do in that cold open?
That's when Dwight started the fire.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Lock the key.
Yeah.
Yep, iconic. Angela's throwing cats through the ceiling tiles, and then Stanley ultimately has a heart attack.
Is an Oscar hanging around up there in the rafters? Or is it a different one?
Oh yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna sound contrarian, and I know this is on every list on the internet. Everybody says it's the 1-1 cold open. I thought about taking it for the graphic instead of taking Ryan. It's not try hard, but they did it because it was after the Super Bowl and they wanted to captivate the audience. And it's not like a classic Office cold open to me. I don't know if that makes sense. I think it's so hectic and it's so much. It doesn't have like the purity of an Office cold open to me. I never have loved it as much as everybody else.
I mean, mind you, that's also where we got, oh my God, it's actually happening. Michael Scott,
Most
famous gif from.
Popular gif, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, they had to up the ante. Very stimulating throughout, though. I have no regrets about my pick.
It's gonna win you the draft, but I I purposely didn't take it because it's not near and dear to my heart.
I respect that.
You could make another one too, Danny.
Oh my God. All right. I think I got to do it. I think for side character, I just got to go Creed.
He's a great side character.
Creed Bratton.
He's the side character.
Great side character. Got a little, which the whole show did obviously towards the end.
He got
a
hyped.
little funky. Where
Yep.
you're just like, what is happening? He's a murderer. Like, it got a little strange. I don't think Creed. I do not think his slugging percentage is what people think it is. I think if you watch being like every time Creed's on, he's so funny, you will be disappointed.
Yeah, he definitely got hyped. There's still lines that, like when it was Halloween and Creed showed up in a suit with blood all over it, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't know we were dressing up today." Him hanging out with the kids
I
at
didn't
the
like
quarry.
that. I thought that one was too much. That was too like. Wait,
Fair.
what? He killed somebody? What are you talking about? Why is he covered in blood then?
This was the guy too, and because we were doing our podcast before this, and I had not watched it, and Danny was always like Creed, like the Creed. It really bothers you how much people hype up Creed because you think it ruins the.
Well, I hate hype altogether. I've told Eddie this. Like, I avoid all movie trailers. I go into the movie not
Blind.
even knowing the plot. Like when I saw Avatar 2, I didn't even know there was gonna be water avatars. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, because I had another buddy who hyped up Creed way too much, and it just didn't hit.
Yeah,
I
don't know
thought
why,
he
though.
was funniest early, and I actually think the dynamic with him and Ryan was probably some of Ryan's best work, where he's the one who sets up like the creedthoughts.gov or whatever that is, the Word document, and then he's sprouting mung beans in his desk. They smell like that. You know, like I thought their dynamic was actually funny earlier on, and then he got a little.
Yeah, this was a hard pick. I was between three.
Yeah, and they also they made him a manager in one of the later seasons, and he just had like a 3 IQ. That didn't hit with me at all.
They ran away with that.
He's like boobabgi or whatever, like the words he's saying. Like dude, he'd speak English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Creed also got very interneted to death. Where
Yeah, he did.
yeah,
Yeah, he got memed to death,
Yeah.
but like in a different kind of way.
I do like
Oversaturated.
when Holly showed up and she asked him like what he does here, and he's like,
Qua.
yeah, I can't come up with his own job title.
yeah. I skip. He has to go to the paper factory. He's like, I skip it 1 year,
Yeah.
and then
Even just like they're walking into Poor Richards and like all the underage kids just throw a hand up, "What up, Creed?" And then they just don't address it. Like that gets me. That gets
That's
me.
funny.
Nate, you're up.
oh, Mamma Mia. There's 3 cold opens I really want to take. Okay, cold open. I'm going to take. This is so difficult. I'm going to take Jim impersonating Dwight.
Nice. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
It's that it's millions of families are affected every year. It's kind of like a culmination of a lot of the pranks and the bullying that had been going on. I remember the first time I saw it, it was one of the more unexpected cold open / pranks. I think it's just it's just very well executed. I think, and it's a classic. So yeah.
Eddie's like, I realized I could recreate his entire outfit for $11. yeah, or whatever the number was.
And just the way Dwight takes it so seriously at first. He's like, question, what's the best bear? He's like, well, grizzly, obviously. False. Brown bear. It's like, well, no, that could be debatable.
Jim hits him with a Michael, and then Dwight, Michael!
He's so bothered. Good pick.
Great open.
Chief.
I'm going episode. This is like one of my favorites, so I don't know where it's ranked, but business school, where Michael goes and gives a presentation to Ryan's class, and he's throwing out the $100,000, and then he doesn't hear Ryan just shitting on the entire industry before he goes on. And so, so he's just like, well, Ryan has never even made a sale, and just absolutely shits on him in front of the entire school. I thought that was, and he like wants to be on campus. Never, there was a line from the Fire episode where he's like, lots of people didn't go to college. Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, and like so now this was like his time to like be on campus. He wants to throw the frisbee, chucks it everywhere.
Dude, when he grabs the book and he's just ripping the out from the file.
Like, this is worthless. It's like, well, actually, that's like $500.
Yeah, or when it just goes like, real business is done on paper. Write that down, and then it zooms out, and everyone's typing on a laptop.
What's the subplot of that episode?
I was just gonna ask. We should start thinking of those for each episode we name the subplot, because usually that you don't even realize that the subplot's golden too.
There's a
I'm watching. It's just on in the background right now. I don't think anyone's gonna pick this for a best episode, but it's Office Olympics, and then the subplot is Michael and White buying the apartment.
Yeah.
Fucking so funny, dude.
It's like, I'm gonna die in this place 30 years. Yeah.
He's buying a 30-year coffin.
Yeah.
Oh, the subplot of business school is Pam's art show when Michael's the only one to show up.
Oh, that's right.
Wow, big moment.
What a moment that is at the end.
Subplot.
That's Michael's shining moment.
Yeah.
Happy
What
tears.
a touching moment that is. And he's like, I need that. And he's like, and then the punchline at the end is like, or I guess you could just take a picture.
Yeah.
Because she drew the building.
What's in your pocket?
A chunky.
Yeah, a chunky. Yeah.
All right, it's to me. Would you consider Kevin a side character?
I would.
Yeah.
Ooh, I would say he's a main.
I was gonna ask, like, is every main character considered someone who works at Dunder Mifflin? But like, Creed is easily a side character.
Kevin's a side character.
I think you could count Kevin as a side character.
Kevin's a side character.
So my thinking was Kevin's a main because he's in every episode, and there are plot points in episodes that surround Kevin.
Yes.
Until season 10, no plot revolve. Like, Creed is barely in the show.
Right.
Kevin is in every episode.
But Kevin, like, I guess I don't know the technical terms of this, but I was just thinking if they were nominated for Emmys, he would be supporting actor.
Mm-hmm.
But that still makes you a main.
I guess the question would be, if Kevin isn't considered a main character, then like who all would be main characters?
I feel like there's a very small group of main characters.
Main characters?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would totally take him as a side character.
All right.
Like I said, swaying, convincing.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Kevin goes, I don't know how much I have to sell him, but the bit of him being R-worded is really funny.
Yeah, so you're taking him as your main, right?
I disagree with that.
Wait, which?
You don't think it's funny?
I think we went through. I think Kevin's character suffered kind of like Ryan did, where just like as it got, and Creed as well, like as he got so ridiculous, and it went from him just being like kind of a doofus to him being a genuinely retarded person is crazy. Like when he it starts and he's a functioning fucking accountant at a paper company, and by the end of the show he doesn't even know like what a quarter is.
Well,
it's like that's a bad example because he actually does when Holly thinks he's
that's a button.
retarded.
Yeah,
but the like
so low bar for an accountant.
What's that?
Low bar for an accountant.
Yeah.
Knowing what a quarter is. Sorry, go on.
But just like as the show went on, he just got like comically, cartoonishly dumb. And
no, they didn't evolve him at all. Which he was never an interesting character, but he was a funny enough character that they could have figured something out to do with him, and they just dumbed him down more and more. I agree.
I thought the moment where Holly's first day, where they think he's like a special needs employee, was hilarious.
That was very funny.
Everything beyond that, I feel, or maybe not everything, but that was when it was like, all right, well, that bit, I don't know, it's like not funny to me anymore.
Well, I will say another great Kevin moment is when he learns what insider trading is. He's like, that sounds a lot like what I do here every day.
Loved the shoe box or the Kleenex boxes on his feet.
My
at the
dogs are
wedding.
barking.
See, I think that's too slapsticky, like not
Dude.
realistic enough. I don't know.
It was funny in the moment. I'll say that
Yeah.
when I watched it, it was funny. But thinking back on it, you're like, that's a little silly. They could have left that at the hair piece. Could have been just like
Yeah.
The thing, yeah.
his thing at the wedding.
I like that he played. He was on the drums, right, in his band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Granicity?
Yeah. Phil-
Granity too.
Synchronicity.
Right.
Nah,
Nice pull, Nate. Nice pull fights.
Just nice. Just nice to win one.
Yeah. No, he's got great. You got him for supporting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's.
In terms
He
of
won a
like,
World Series of Poker bracelet.
Oh.
yeah,
Which he
right.
actually
That's another
did.
thing. He's
He's
dumb, but he's like an expert at poker and plays in a band.
he's mince.
But in terms of like serious Kevin, we're saying like I don't know if you call it character development, but before the famous it's just nice to win one. Bears fans have that a lot. He has that long thing about he's like ever since Stacy left me, it's been kind of hard. He like tears up and then he just goes, it's just nice to win one. I've seen it on TikTok being like you have to respect Brian's acting skills.
John, you're back up.
All right, I will go. This is like I honestly wish like I don't know. I wish I definitely wish I didn't pick episode first. I don't regret it. I love Survivor Man, but just hearing other episodes and even just looking up and seeing this, I'm like, oh, that's a great episode. That's a great like.
That's why it's
I could do
impossible to
10
pick your top
Yeah.
5.
10 million episodes.
Well, that's why you have to do the episode draft.
So I will go with open Dwight. I'm sorry, Andy's. God, Jim sending Dwight faxes from the future. when he sprinted across the office and slams the coffee out of Stanley's hand, that was like I would go back and watch like just that clip, like it was a sketch. I thought that was so fucking funny.
Great pick.
And then for supporting, supporting's so hard because of the fact that Kevin counts, and I agree that he should. But there's also like supporting.
When I made my list, I thought all the people in the office were mains, and then everybody else was like tertiary was.
That's
support.
that's what I did originally, but then once it started to flip, then I took Kevin. I was like, all right, well, if you're gonna let me do that, so I was kind of with you, Nate. But
Because I don't know who else would be main if Kevin isn't main.
Yeah, that's why I said I think we could. It's just how you sell it.
yeah, you're basically taking two characters, which is
Yeah, but we're
fine.
not also going to sit here and argue for a half hour about if Kevin's main or not.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stick to maybe the essence of supporting, and I'm gonna take Hank.
That
I
is
think-
on my list.
I think Hank hits at a rate that people think Creed hits at. I mean, look, he probably has 4 swings at the bat, 5 swings at the bat, but every one of them is a home run. When he comes up and he takes it very seriously about whether they should get a new chair or a new fax machine, is so goddamn funny.
The security guard, Hank, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's like, well, let me sit in the chair again. Let me see the fax. And like, all right, get out of here.
Michael's, all right, get out of here, Hank.
yeah. I
Or
have
when they just never know his name. Like, or, when Jim calls him and he's like, what's up, man? Just seeing how it's going. He goes, stop calling me. I'll get it done. Like, I don't know. Hank just hits so fucking hard for me.
I think Jim goes, what's up, Chief?
Yeah.
And is that the same? That's when they're locked in, right?
That's
Yeah.
when Toby does the hand thing. Yeah.
And Jim is like, hey, Oscar, get over here. The cleaners are here.
In case they speak Spanish. Oh, look.
he was on my list. All right, back to me. I'm gonna go. I don't know Maine, but I think he's kind of polarizing too. So I'm interested in what you guys think. But I thought Andy Bernard was funny. I like it.
Andy is very good. I think think he's a great pick. I think it's better to have him on your board than not.
Let me say this. The writing in the I gave a valiant effort to watch the post Michael seasons without any bias or like not even thinking like, oh, the show's not the same without Michael. The writing in those last 2 seasons for every character, for the most part, is not strong. So I weight the good writing in the good seasons, like characters like Andy, heavier in the earlier seasons, and I will dismiss what happens to Andy because it's not fair to Andy what they did to him.
Yeah, that's fair to put more weight early because it does, like we said, like kind of like everybody, the writing does really fall apart, and his character towards the end is a fucking nightmare.
It's a train wreck.
I don't think of Andy as season 9 or 10 Andy. I think of anger management Andy, like early Andy.
Call me Drew.
Yeah.
When his fucking maid died, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we did best scenes, Andy, the phone in the ceiling, his ringtone being his own song, and then him
recorded all 4 parts.
Freaking cell phone.
Yeah.
Dude, they call. I got straight B's. They called me Buzz. Right after saying he got straight A's, they called him Ace.
You're not an Andy guy?
Yeah, my hot take is I hate Andy.
Oh.
I think when he came, because he didn't show up until season 3, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I thought when he first came on, I thought the first time watching through, I'm like, this is the funniest guy.
I fucking love when he calls Jim Tuna. Like something so simple like that. Like just trying to be one of the guys. What's up, Tuna? Like something like that. Just,
mind you, this was a guy annoying enough to annoy Michael.
Yeah.
And then he gets cucked.
I loved him and Angela's relationship. Like I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, he's just a hard guy to root for. I hate him because of like his annoyingness, I think.
Yeah, fair. I know he's kind of polarizing.
But he's like also he's the embodiment of suck up to the boss. You know, he even says what he does. Repetition, name recognition, all that stuff. And he everything he does until the last seasons is hilarious. Like just every line he's like in the tuna stuff, and it's just very, very, very funny to me.
Dating the high school girl was wacky.
I don't know why that was in the show.
Yeah.
I've never I want to ask a writer why was that put in the show. That part baffles me.
Different times.
Him and Dwight's
Cornell
light off.
Oh, I was going to say that when he was like conducting the interview for Cornell.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Candidate will go to the far superior Dartmouth.
Chief.
I'll go back to John's pick from 2 rounds ago and take Pam as my worst character. She absolutely sucked. She has to be drafted for worst character. If he's getting Jim, I'll take Pam. I don't know if I ever had a scene where I'm like, yeah, Pam was awesome in that.
Did Pam age horribly, or did people always hate her?
I think she was hard to like from the beginning. She was a little bit sympathetic because her fiance Roy like sucked, but she also sucked too.
Especially towards the later seasons, like basically not or shaming Jim for like living out
his dream,
like for being gone a day,
even when he supported her through all her failed dreams.
Right.
She was awful.
Jim and Pam were meant for each other. They're like just podunk idiots from, middle of nowhere Pennsylvania who work at a failing paper company. She's a secretary who's failed art school, and he's just like a bumbling paper salesman, and they found each other. Like she had extremely low self-esteem. He had no ambition. Neither of them were ever cool. Pam, pretty selfish a lot of times. She gets some growth. People always point to Beach Day like as like Pam growing and stuff.
Congratulations, you walked on hot coal. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Pam.
no, that scene doesn't really hit, I don't think, but people seem to like it. But yeah, no, Pam stinks.
The maddest I've probably ever been watching the show was when Pam and the camera guy had some suspicious stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
They were allegedly gonna have a little cheating scandal going on. The writer said, but they didn't. But it sure made it seem like it. I still
close
can't
enough.
trust Pam after that.
And that would be Pam has a history. Once
on brand.
Yeah,
true.
Damn.
Yeah, Pam, and I don't know if you guys are How I Met Your Mother people, but Lily was similar, where she just has all these dreams and she sucked at art also. And it's like they have these guys at home. It's just like there's a lot of parallels, but Lily sucks in How I Met Your Mother also.
Dude, you saying Pam sucked at art is an understatement. That unveiling of her mural is like the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
anticlimactic.
Yeah, no shit. No one bought anything at the art show, Pam.
Yeah.
What was it like? There's like shadows. Dwight's like there's shadows from 3 different ways.
And then she makes up the job in the office, like
Yeah.
whatever it was.
I actually didn't hate that part. That's just some good fake it till you make it corporate. Like when she's like, not blackmailing Toby, but like really putting Toby on the spot.
Yeah.
Or no, not Toby, Gabe.
Gabe.
Gabe, yeah, that's a very good scene. That's a very good Pam scene.
Nate, you're up.
What do I have left?
So you have your episode, you have your main, or Ryan was your side character, and then you have your cold open. So you need your worst.
Okay, worst character. Does worst character have to be a character that's like in the whole show?
What do you mean? I think a couple
Or can it be like a
appearances.
1 episode character?
I'm fine with that.
Whatever you want to take, Nate.
There's 2 I want to take. I'm gonna take D'Angelo Vickers.
Will Ferrell.
That was the first new boss post Michael, Will Ferrell. It was a huge failure in every way a character can be. It's hard to watch him be the boss. He was way too much like Michael Scott, but like a bad impression of Michael Scott. It was bad. I when people say like Michael Scott could only be like Steve Carell could only be Michael Scott, it's almost like they made Will Ferrell be that role just to prove the point that nobody else could be Michael Scott. Because I think it was just his scenes are impossible.
I think it could have worked. I agree with you on everything, but like it's kind of like the phrase like you don't want to be the guy after the guy.
Yeah.
You want to be
Tough
the guy
act to
after
follow.
that guy. Like it set the next person up for success because it was like okay, at least you didn't like you're not fucking Cam Newton. You're not
Yeah.
Cam Newton after Brady. You're
Drake
there
May.
was an open window. It just didn't work
They
out.
set him up for failure from his first scene where him and Michael were at the bar like trying to find each other. They never even tried to make him a unique character. It was just a bad just like copy and paste of him.
Yeah.
What was his reason in the show for leaving so quickly?
He had a heart attack, right?
Oh, did he? How many
Or died.
how many episodes do you think he was in?
2.
I was
Two,
gonna say
think.
I think maybe like 4. All
That's
right.
it.
And then it
He
was.
He died, I think, on the last episode of the season.
Interesting.
Danny, you are up.
Fuck. I have worst character and episode, right?
Correct.
Oh God. For my worst character, I'm gonna go Nellie. I thought it was ridiculous how, even though I hate Andy, how she just refused to give him his job back under her bizarre reasoning. Didn't think she was a good fit at all. Hated that Andy gave her a second chance and she was still around. Wasn't big on Nellie at all.
She was on my list.
Very unwatchable. Yeah.
Very unwatchable, good way
Yeah.
to put it. But I was between a couple, but I'm settling on Nellie.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Man, the writing just really fell off. I actually asked Eddie if we could switch worst character because I didn't want to focus on these like season 9 and 10 characters because it just ruins such a great show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think worst characters is a controversial topic on The Office. A lot of people have who might be your best character, like Andy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, I was hoping, and we still might have it, but I was hoping for some overlap with like someone choosing someone for worst and someone choosing.
Yeah.
Who's next?
You're up
I
again.
bet there's some
Oh,
Gabe heads that think Gabe is one of the best.
The GOAT.
Has everyone drafted an episode already?
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, you have to take one
Yeah.
regardless. So
I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to go Gay Witch Hunt.
Great episode.
Michael kissing Oscar.
Yeah, that was
Jim
great.
telling them that gaydar is a thing. Dwight checking to see if anyone else is gay in the office. At the end of the episode, low-key funny moment was Michael being like, I wonder what Oscar's roommate Gil thinks of all this.
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
I mean, it was hard. It was one of the hardest decisions I had to make right there.
It's good. You did a good job.
So the one that we were talking about then earlier did not get picked, which is a shame.
The deposition.
Which was it?
The deposition.
Great episode.
Yeah.
And I was actually just thinking if I could switch, I still wouldn't, but maybe I would. I'd take safety training.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one, too. The other one where, I mean, we can do honorable mentions later, but where Dwight's the deputy sheriff and he's doing, like, the drug bust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Michael's like, I might have smoked weed at a Alicia Keys concert or something.
I think besides Dinner Party, the next best episode is Casino Night.
Great episode.
And then Fun Run, I think.
Fun Run was up there for me.
To be right there, too. I thought someone for sure was going to take Casino Night. I think that's like the statement episode of what made The Office The Office.
It is. I don't know if it's the funniest, but yes, that's when
Not the funniest,
Jim and
just-
Pam finally kiss.
Just a real good episode.
Yeah, another season finale.
Nate, you need another character.
What? I need another character?
Yeah, you're up again.
I need side character then, right? Or
Yeah.
did Ryan count as side?
You could kind of do what you want here.
Okay. I'm gonna take Daryl Philbin.
Nice.
I don't know how much I need to explain. I don't know which one of them is. I guess Daryl becomes very main in the later seasons, right?
Daryl is one of the few who I would consider main.
Okay. Because I would say he starts off as a side and then becomes the main. Daryl's very funny. He's very. I think my favorite Daryl scene is when he has his like humanitarian side when he goes up to help Michael move with Holly, and they're singing the blues on the way home. Yeah, Daryl's the man.
Yeah,
When he has he gives Andy though. He's got one text left, and he sends him the 2 pigeons eating ice cream. I don't know. That kills me. That's a great
Yeah.
Good pick. Chief, you're up.
Um,
You need a side character.
I'll take Meredith as a side character. Meredith, I think.
Fuck, that's so much better than Daryl.
I think her hit rate is actually pretty high, and like the way that she's just like the alcoholic divorcee, and the way that they like blend all of her, like they make her have rabies, they make her get hit by a car, they make like
she was full bald.
yeah. So I
They
thought
light her on fire. Yeah.
there's a lot of Meredith moments that like she's not a main character, she's never driving any episodes, but she always kind of makes you laugh. So.
And then series finale, it's like, oh, I was getting my PhD the whole time.
I don't even remember that, but yeah.
It's like one line in the series finale. It's like anything you wish they showed that they didn't show. She's like, yeah, I was getting my PhD the whole time.
Yeah, her at the Christmas party when Michael takes her to rehab. All-time episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good pick.
What do you got left?
Cold open.
Okay, good thing I held.
I have a cold listen, probably definitely couldn't do this now. Well, maybe he could. I don't know. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? The IT guy was funny.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was so fucking funny.
You invited the IT guy?
It's just, like
That
when he
was
looked,
funny.
shut off all
Yeah.
the lights, shut off all the lights. Yeah, I mean, it's just funny.
It was.
I don't know what to say. It's funny. John, Mr. Irrelevant.
Okay. I'm very. Well, we'll do honorable mentions later. I know we've talked ill about the final seasons a lot. If you're giving me best man, I'm taking Bobby California here. I'm gonna lose this draft by a lot. I think Robert California is fucking hilarious. I have no regrets with my draft at all.
It was between him and Nelly for worst character for me.
And this. So to be honest and fair, I haven't watched in a long time, which I said, But when I was watching last, was everyone hated the end season, so I was really working to find ways to like him, and I really fell in love with Robert California. I think he's really, really, really fucking funny.
I'll say this: did you guys watch while it was actually airing?
Yeah.
Yeah, like after season 2, I think I was on.
I would still say the last 2 seasons without Michael were still the best live television at the time, for what it's worth. Not much
I think
competition, but
it fell off.
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
but even after the fall off, I think it was still pretty wildly entertaining.
It just depends. I don't think you're wrong with what you're saying, but it just depends with what else was on still.
Mm-hmm.
I forget if 30 Rock was still on. If 30 Rock was still on, no.
30
Yeah.
Rock was
Okay.
fucking
Good
great.
point. Good
Yeah.
point. But like what was it? The Tallahassee episodes? Those were in the postseasons. Those stuck out a little.
I mean, dude, they just
end of
aren't
the season-
good. They
The
just
end of the
really
stuff
are.
isn't. It's not as good as it was, but like I'm with you, Danny, in that it's better than people remember.
Yeah, like we still had Dwight. Dwight getting appendicitis in the fucking Saber lecture.
Yeah.
And now we could talk about it. I mean, the finale, one of the best finales in television history, I'd say. In terms of everyone being pleased, just the right amount of Michael. They finally get married. Yada yada.
I would say you're right with that. It's as good as wrapping up a decade of TV can.
Yes, very fulfilling. I'll say.
Yeah.
All right, let's do honorable mention. Then we'll vote someone off and we'll get out of here. Cold opens. You guys want to start there? Any notable omissions?
Honestly, I almost picked it. I think it's so funny. Michael calling the Vancouver hotel to find his reservation that he made on the old system. And it's like the Olympics were happening in Vancouver. And it's like he has the best room with the best view. And he's like, I like to cancel that. And then it's like, well, there's a fee for it. He's like, go ahead. He just can't. It's so random and it just makes me laugh every time. The DVD corner. Michael think he's leading like the best meeting ever, and they're just all watching. Even Stanley's not doing a crossword puzzles; he's watching the DVD.
Yeah.
So we missed what the casuals are going to be commenting about. One of the most, the chili.
The chili, yeah.
I was thinking about it, not a personal fave. I was like, I'm not going to do, because it was kind of how I felt with taking Creed. Like, I like him, but I get
It's
the
like a
pander
better
element.
meme than a cold open.
Yeah.
And one other cold open, it's just because there's a very funny Ryan moment in it. It's when Toby returns. There's brownies in the break room, and Kelly takes 2, and Ryan just goes, need 2? And it's just so demeaning to Kelly. And she goes, yeah, one's for Toby, and that starts the whole, yeah, I bet it is. No, Toby works here again. Would never.
I don't think I've ever noticed that he goes, you sure you need 2?
Oh,
That's
it's
fucking
so funny.
Michael hitting Meredith with his car.
Yeah.
Dude, I actually was really close to picking. I went with fact, but I was really close to picking parkour. When he goes through that fucking refrigerator box, that is funny. That's funny stuff right there.
Asian Jim.
Asian Jim, yeah.
Classic.
I was surprised. First of all, has everyone else been getting this feedback the whole show?
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
so there's another show coming through.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
really?
It's not unbearable, but yeah.
Does it sound like a show in New York or Chicago?
I'm in my apartment.
I mean, like with the show that you're hearing, is it a Barstool?
How long has it been going?
Is it our?
I can't make stuff out. It's just
Oh, yeah, you're in your
it sounds
apartment.
like maybe
Sorry.
a TV is on in the background or a podcast is on in the back. I don't know, but it's coming through your side.
Yeah.
Interesting.
How long has it been happening?
The whole show.
Oh,
Oh, I
fuck.
haven't noticed.
Better late than never.
It's not like you can still listen to the show. No one's gonna be like this is unlistenable, but they'll mention it.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, it's definitely not like in our track, I would say.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like we're recording here locally. It's probably maybe just through the Zoom audio you guys are getting. It's like
Yeah, they're like
crossing over.
sometimes we get like weird like
Picking up
shit pumped in,
signals.
Yeah. Characters.
What was I gonna say? I think Kelly Kapoor is great. I was
she's
surprised
funny.
No one took her. I had her for supporting, but then I just went with like a true supporting in Hank. But Kelly Kapoor, she's got a great hit rate too.
She does.
But she wears white to a wedding.
It was an emergency.
Dude, the fucking tapeworm she gets from
Yeah.
Creed when
Gonna look amazing.
when Ryan is talking about how she's pregnant, and then it cuts to her in a confessional. She goes,
And I am keeping it.
Mose.
Mose, yeah.
Yeah, Mose.
Mose, I don't really get. Like, I didn't dislike him, but he certainly wouldn't be on like a favorite for me.
I kind of put him
Kind of there, and that's fine. But I don't think Mose brings a ton.
I kind of want to go back and switch my supporting character to Jan. She's awesome.
I mean, Jan, again, he's not funny, but I don't know why. With David Wallace, I was like, he's a great guy. That's just that's what you like. I looked up, one day I hope to be as honorable as David Wallace is. He just wants to do the right thing. You know, he's a good guy. I think he's a great character. He's not particularly funny, so you don't really think of him in this. Also, just the man,
dude. That was one of those things when he like got into the Barstool University. I feel like he was the first real recognizable person to fuck with Barstool. I was like, this guy, he might be my favorite actor of all time.
I don't know who it is, but someone here like met David Wallace and became friends with him, and that's how they got hired. Does anybody know who that is?
Interesting.
I don't know who that is, but he was like when we first moved to New York, he was
there every day.
I think he just came every day. He was
Really?
Dude, there was one time like we were still doing Sirius radio, and I just vividly remember one time I was in a room. It's not vividly, so I don't remember exactly who was in it. Kevin was definitely in it. I feel like Dave was in there too, and we were doing a show, and David Wallace was just in there putting a ball around talking to us, and we're like, dude, we're literally live on air right now. It was a nice tone setter for like the New York office where it's just like, I don't know, dude, Andy Buckley's here playing golf while you're trying to record a podcast. He's in the studio and he doesn't really care that you're doing a show.
He's being like
we
Michael.
Were going super tertiary, Bob Vance Refrigeration. He always plays, and I wrote down Packer.
Todd Packer.
Yeah.
Todd Packer. Yeah.
Just to be a bitch.
Going off of Mose, I think the first time we ever see Mose is when he is running alongside Jim and Pam's car, which leads me to Dwight's Bed and Breakfast being an all-time episode for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
That the training with Ryan and Dwight was a funny episode too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Diversity Day.
Diversity Day.
Diversity Day, which I had heard was taken off air, but when I just watched The Office on Peacock after Eddie asked me this, it's still there. I don't know if they put it
off Comedy Central.
Oh, it was on Peacock. Fine.
Basketball.
Yeah. Secret weapon.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Diversity Day.
Basketball with Kevin just hitting every shot.
Yeah.
It's good. All right. I'm going to read them off unless anyone else has anything else that needs to get addressed before I do.
Just curious, your favorite overall line or scene that we haven't talked about? Because mine is the Bill Buttlicker scene. I think that is the Dwight, when you get Dwight, Jim, and Michael in the same room, and then the very end of it, it's like, it's $1 million sale. Like, you just have to do one thing: fire that salesman who was rude to me. I think that's a top 3 scene for me in the entire series.
Yep. What else is there?
I love that. I talked about it earlier. That episode, The Coup, I feel like where Dwight tries to get Michael fired. I think there are so many where he's just has like massive plates of pancakes, and he's just like, I get rid of most of the waste of the company. I'll get rid of the waste, which is most of the people at our company. And he just, I don't know. I think that might be my favorite.
He just became Elon for the day.
Worst character, Angela, I can't stand for the majority of it. She's such a piece of shit to Andy. It makes me sad sometimes. Like, she's just getting fucked left and right by Dwight and Andy, and she has like just no morals or soul.
Not getting fucked by Andy.
Not getting, but you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think they had sex once, maybe.
That's what causes Dwight to end stuff with her.
Yeah. He's like, wait, you had sex with her?
Yeah.
She's my girlfriend.
Yeah. Angela is a repugnant. So when she's like, she licks her cats, which makes me laugh.
I might throw Idris Elba in the running for worst character.
Oh, he sucked too. Yeah.
Not great.
Would you say Benihana Christmas was the best Office Christmas episode?
That, yes.
Michael marks the twin, and then they're at the table.
Not a twin.
Yeah.
Charles Minor, though, I don't think he was a bad character. Like, we needed him. He just sucked, and like that was the world. But I feel like he was an important character in like moving things forward and kind of shifting tones a little bit.
Yeah.
But like Charles Minor himself, yeah, he was kind of annoying.
Very stern.
I like that arc because it brought Jim down a level. Like, just Charles Minor always had the upper hand until when David Wallace, like, Charles is like, Dwight's been my guy, and David Wallace is like, Jim's my guy, and they both go into the conference room, and it's like, oh, that's what I would have said, but you didn't. Like, that whole thing. It was very well written.
Do you have a good apiarist? Do I have a good? No, I have a bad apiarist, Jim.
All right, I'll read it out, and then we'll vote someone off, and then we'll get out of here. Danny, Michael Scott, The Fire, Creed Bratton, Nelly, Gay Witch Hunt. Nate,
I would like Stretch Relief Part 1 on the graphic.
Part 1, okay.
Is there a cold open to part 2?
That Part 2 was the roast of Michael Scott, right?
Oh, shit.
Of The Fire?
I posed the question before. If you were to combine Stretch Relief Part 1 and 2, does it stand up against Dinner Party?
Oh, boy. It's
Mind you, that's when Dwight skins the dummy.
that's CPR. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. No, Dinner Party's still number 1. It's up there, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Probably number 2. All right, sorry, go on.
You're good. Nate, Dinner Party, Ryan Howard, Jim impersonating Dwight, D'Angelo Vickers, and Daryl Philbin. Chief Dwight, Michael Burns Foot on Foreman, Business School, Pam's the Worst, and Meredith. Eddie, Gabe, Goodbye Toby, Kevin, Andy Bernard, the IT guy, John, Survivor Man, Jim sending faxes from the future, Hank, and Robert, California.
Chief, what was your episode?
Chief was
Business School.
Business School. All right. Nate, who you got?
Can you do one more read through real quick?
Yeah, no problem. Danny, Michael Scott, The Fire Part 1, Creed Bratton, Nelly, Gay Witch Hunt. If you need me to specify, I will too. Just let me know. Nate, Dinner Party, Ryan Howard, Jim impersonating Dwight, D'Angelo Vickers, Daryl Philbin. Chief Dwight, Michael Burns Foot on Foreman, Business School, Pam, Meredith. Eddie, Gabe, Goodbye Toby, Kevin, Andy Bernard, IT guy. John, Survivor Man, Jim sending faxes from future, Hank, and Robert, California. Who do you got?
I have to pick first.
Who has the worst?
Or John could pick first. It don't matter.
John, go ahead and pick
Who are we
first.
voting off?
Okay, I get like this is honestly impossible for me. This whole draft is so hard because I think everyone's got a great draft. I don't know. I know I'm definitely on the chopping block. I don't fault anyone for that. I got no regrets. But
I think we might see Danny win with like 80% of them.
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. This was one like once I knew I didn't have pick 1-1, I was just picking for me. I didn't care at all about what anyone else thought. So I'll put me. I'll put me on the block. Fuck
I
it.
swear to God, I was going to say me. That's why I wanted you to go first. I don't think I had a strong draft at all. Can we combine me and John's best picks into one?
I think Eddie's right there with you guys though.
No, Eddie's is better. IT is such a good pool.
That was good.
John, if you want to say me, I'll put another vote on me.
No, I already said me.
Who do you got?
All right, then I
Nate?
vote John.
All right. Who do you got, Chief?
I'll go Nate.
It's me. I had the worst draft.
Danny?
I'm sorry, but I got to go you, Eddie.
I voted for myself, too.
Gabe.
All right, so
first
then
pick.
I have to switch.
No.
And because I hate Andy. I was just explaining my reasoning.
Okay. So 2 for me, 2 for John.
Oh, no, 2 for Nate.
Oh,
Nate?
John voted for
No,
himself.
I voted for me and John both voted for John.
So,
Did
did you watch The Office, Lance?
I did watch The Office. Who
All
are
right,
we
so
between?
you got to vote for me or John, okay? Me, I had Gabe as the worst, Goodbye Toby episode, Kevin as side, Andy Bernard as the main, and IT guy is the cold open. John had Survivor Man, Jim is the worst, Jim sending facts from the future is the cold open, Hank side character, best character, Robert, California.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you because you Eddie. I think Andy Bernard kind of sucks. I also think Gabe is hilarious. And I think Robert California is fucking really funny. I don't know. I'm with you on that. I think Robert California rocks, so I'm going to have to vote you, Eddie.
All right, I'm cool with it. All right, trying to chop it up. I got to rewatch it now. I mean,
this is like struck a chord
I know.
with me.
Just made me.
So funny, like even just look at TV and Michael's sitting there like that, like he's like, I mean, every fucking thing, man. He doesn't miss.
We'll see you guys next week for just the Office episodes draft.
Yeah, right.
Good luck on the polls.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Congrats to Danny on the highest poll voting of all time.
I think you're jinxing me a little.
No, not at all. We're all in agreement here.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You crushed it.
All right. That's it, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Back tomorrow. We'll see you then.